species, the solutions are in the hands of farmers. In terms of reducing, not just reducing what we contribute to climate change, but actually solving that problem. Farms have the potential to be the greatest carbon sink in America. If we handle soils well, if we perennialize, we can take in, I think Rodale estimates 25% of the amount of greenhouse gases can be stored in soils, well taken care of. Farmers are growing the solution to the healthcare crisis, which is to say real food, produce, fresh fruit, meat, but also vegetables, real unprocessed or minimally processed food. Farmers hold the solution to that. The challenge is, I think, the biggest challenge to sustainability is that growing food more sustainably with less oil. What this oil has done is replaced human capital on farms. 94% of our food today in America is being grown by only 400,000 farmers. This is in a country of 310 million. We are going to need more farmers. We have spent 100 years in this country denigrating farmers. The culture has denigrated them. They've been the butt of jokes. But I see that changing. I think that, yes, there is a criticism of agriculture, but it is not a criticism of farming. It is not. That is a Farm Bureau talking point, that when we talk about obesity in the food system, when we talk about climate change in the food system, we're attacking farmers. I don't know where you find those attacks written, but we need to celebrate farmers. They hold the solution to our biggest problems, and we need to support them, and we need to educate them, and we need to encourage tens of millions of people to get on the land.
And that points to an interesting statistic that we do have more farmers today than we had a few years ago.
It's ticked up for the first time in the last census.
We had a
very encouraging.
30% increase in farmers, but the acreage is 1 to 9 acres. And the definition USDA is $1,000 off farmers. So definitions of farmers changes, but that's a sign that people.
Yeah, but I think that income is better than it looks. I mean, I don't mean to cast aspersions, but not all that farmers market income is getting reported.
Probably true. Myra, crystal ball.
I think it's a crystal ball. I did.
But you had vision back in the day to get you here, so you had.
I didn't really have a vision. I didn't. I think that if we knew what we were getting into, I don't know if we would have done it. I think we've always progressed very organically and just kind of. But I do think, even though a lot of the things that Michael said in his book, concerned me a little. I think that I felt like he pulled the rug out of organic a little bit. I think the fact that his book is so popular and that people are so excited about learning about how food is produced and really want to learn more about this issue, that people are watching these cooking shows and are starting to really care about their food. And I think that America is starting to discover what we have lost, not really having this food culture. And that when we thought, my parents are my dad's 85 and my mom's 81, and my mom takes care of my dad who has Alzheimer's. She puts that frozen meal in the microwave for 3 minutes and she has food, and I don't know what she would do without that. So I really, really appreciate it. But at the same time, I think that we have had this culture where it is looked at as this huge benefit to get the woman out of the kitchen and not spend all this time preparing food. And we've lost a lot with that. And we've lost a connection to our food and the joy of sitting and eating a meal together, not eating something quick in the car or in front of the TV. And so I've been very excited by the resurgence.
How do we go about getting more farmers and ranchers? I obviously did not succeed. None of my 6 children wanted to farm. My wife grew up on a wheat farm, and about 30 years ago, we started to get whatever amount her parents could give us each year until we wound up with that entire farm. Then she had an old maid aunt who passed away, and Aunt Hazel left us all of that land. And I offered it to every one of our children. And the interesting thing is, they're just exactly like me. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. And so again, I told you how proud I was of somebody being able to farm and ranch and feed us all. I now have 13 grandchildren, and we've offered to place all 13 of them. So I don't know how we create more farmers and ranchers.
Anybody interested? Yeah, I was going to say. The students up there, there's some up there, I'm sure, Gary. Okay?
But I do know that we can, in places like Cal Poly and Colorado State, Texas A&M, and even Fresno State, where I went to school, we can imbue into each of these people that desire to do something beyond just the things that they think are important to them. And we can sure enough try to seek out and find those people who want to farm and try to help them financially get started farming. Just like you did, maybe with 2.5 acres. I admire her so much for doing that, being such a success. So I guess the one thing that we agree on is the importance of education and trying to get people prepared to help us do what we believe we were put here to do, and that's to provide food. Thank you.
I think it's pretty obvious we can carry this conversation on for some time, and I hope that it does continue. But we've run out of time with the conversation here, and I want to leave you with this. I think the beauty of the dialogue, the beauty of the discussion comes down to, in this country, we should be thankful that we have a choice. We have a choice between organic or conventional. We have a choice at the supermarket. Other countries, other people of this world do not have those choices, and we have to appreciate the beauty of that. Also, I think it is because of the success of American agriculture in many ways, we have lots of problems. Be careful how you hear that. It is because of our agriculture and because of our ag-food system, we're not hungry to any great extent. When you're hungry, you only have one problem, and that's where you get your food. And that, I think, we all can be a part of that solution, not only at home, locally, but globally as well. And with that, thank you so much. We hope you enjoy